Hello everyone, welcome to this video session on Euler's equation of motion. This is a derivation asked several times for 10 to 12 marks in VTU Fluid Mechanics semester exam question paper. The Euler's equation of motion for a steady flow of an ideal fluid along a streamline is a relation between the velocity, pressure and body force of a moving fluid. Ideal fluid is the one which has zero viscosity and incompressible. Steady flow is a flow in which the velocity of the fluid at a particular fixed point does not change with respect to time. Streamline is a flow pattern in which all the flow lines are parallel to each other and they do not intersect with each other. Euler's equation is based on Newton's second law of motion. The integration of the equation gives Bernoulli's equation in the form of energy per unit weight of the flowing fluid. Euler's equation is derived based on some assumptions. The fluid is non-viscous. That means the frictional losses are zero. The fluid is homogeneous and incompressible. That is, the mass density of the fluid is constant. The flow is continuous, steady and along the streamline. That means velocity at any time is fixed. The velocity of the flow is uniform over the section. That means velocity at any place in the flow field is fixed. No energy or force is involved in the flow. That means energy or force term except gravity and pressure forces cannot be found in the equation. Euler's equation of motion. Now here a tube flow is taken as an example with the inlet on the left side and outlet on the right side, with the direction of flow is from left to right. Now the analysis of entire tube for the deriving the equation is not possible. So instead of taking into account the entire tube dimensions, we will take a small element of this tube with all the forces acting on it. Now this is a small element taken and it is redrawn like this here with all the forces with its dimension. The shape of this element is circular in cross section because it is a tube flow with total length as ds. It is a small elemental length. dA is the cross sectional area, and on the left side we can see L is the end and on the right hand side M is the end. Direction of flow is from left side towards right, that is upward here. P into dA is a force acting on left side and P plus dP into dA is acting on the right side on M, and they are acting opposite to each other. Now in order to derive the Euler's equation we need Newton's law of motion, and that equation is force is equal to mass into acceleration. That is, net force acting on the fluid element is equal to mass into acceleration. There are two forces acting. One is pressure force and another is gravity or body force. Other forces acting on the fluid element are neglected. So that is equal to mass of the fluid element into acceleration of the fluid. Let us take it as equation E. We start with pressure force. So same diagram I am redrawing with only pressure or force terms. So P into dA on the left side and in the opposite direction P plus dP into dA on the right side. They are opposite in direction, so opposite signs we have to give. Therefore net force acting is equal to, we have to add these two now. So P into dA minus P plus dP into dA. So when you simplify this equation we will get minus dP into dA has total net force acting on this fluid element. Let us take it as equation 1. Now next is gravity force or body force. Again I am drawing the same diagram with body force which is acting in the downward direction with theta is the angle of inclination with respect to direction of flow. In this diagram also you can see dW is acting downward with theta is the angle. dW is the total weight of the fluid element, but we need dw in the direction of flow, not in the downward direction. So we resolve this dw into two parts. One is dw sin theta and second is dw cos theta. dw cos theta is acting in the direction opposite to the direction of flow, so it is negative. So you can write gravity force or body force is equal to minus dw cos theta. Minus is due to opposite direction. Now here we need to write the equation for dw and cos theta. So let us find out that. So dw is weight of the fluid element, and we have this equation rho is equal to mass by volume, that is density is equal to mass by volume, multiply g to this equation on both the sides. So rho into g is equal to m into g divided by v. So what is m into g? It is weight divided by volume. So we get the equation like this: w is equal to rho g v. So this is the equation to find out. Now we will substitute this equation in that previous equation. So minus, instead of dw, rho g dv. dv is small element of volume into cos theta. Now what is cos theta? For that we will refer the first diagram. In this diagram, ds is the length, and I have drawn vertical and horizontal line like this, which create a right angle triangle with theta angle, and dz is the height of the triangle. So I will redraw this right angle triangle like this: ds on the hypotenuse side and dz is the vertical height with theta is the angle. Now cos theta is equal to dz by ds. So we will substitute that in the above equation. Therefore minus rho g into dv is what? It is a volume of a small element. You know it is a tube. dA is the cross sectional area and ds is the length. So volume is dA into ds. So instead of dv, substitute dA into ds, and cos theta is dz by ds. Here you can cancel ds. So what is the final equation? It is minus rho g into dA dz. Let us take it as equation 2. Now the third equation, that is mass into acceleration. So m into a. So what is m? So in the density equation we can see rho is equal to mass by volume. So you can write rho into v is equal to m in general. But small element of volume, the volume is dv. So instead of v you have to substitute as dv. Therefore we can write, so instead of m I am writing rho into dv into acceleration as it is. Again I am rewriting this rho into dA into ds into a. Next work is to find out equation of acceleration. Acceleration is what? It is velocity divided by time. So acceleration is dv by dt, but velocity is also depending on the length. So dv by ds into ds by dt. It is a partial differentiation. So I am keeping the dv by ds as it is, and ds by dt is distance by time. So it is velocity. So I can substitute this in the above equation. So third equation becomes like this: rho into dA into ds into dv by ds into velocity v. So this is the third equation. Now it's time to substitute all this equation in the first equation. F is equal to ma. So F, that is the net force acting. So we have two forces. One is pressure force, second is gravity force. So we'll substitute that. So minus dP into dA minus rho g dA into dz, that is equal to mass into acceleration, that is rho into dA into ds into dv by ds into v velocity. Now I can cancel dA from this equation. It's common on left and right hand side. Also we can cancel ds. So what is remaining? It is minus dp minus rho g into dz, that is equal to rho into dv into v. Now divide this equation by rho. So minus dp by rho minus g into dz, that is equal to dv into v. Now let us keep this inside the box. This is not the final equation. Now take all the terms towards one side and write. So dp by rho plus g into dz plus dv into v is equal to 0. Now this is the final equation of motion or Euler's equation of motion. From this equation we can derive another equation called as Bernoulli's equation by integrating. So let us integrate this equation. On integrating, we get p by rho plus g into z plus v square by 2 is equal to constant. In that, first term is pressure head, second term is gravity head or potential head, and third term is velocity head.